Good evening and welcome to Astrology tonight. This is it. This is my Mars birthday. I am as Mars as I can possibly be right now. It's on my ascendant, and Mars is back at the spot where it was when I was born 27 Aries. Okay, so today's the day when I'm raring to go. Okay, and on top of that, today is the day that Mars is square Pluto and my sun is in Pluto. Okay. Oh my goodness. And guess what? I'm all worked up. I can't help it. So, it's worked up about so many things. It's unbelievable. But what set me off this time? A magnificent musician named Elvis Costello. He set me off again, like he always does. Anyway, so I just posted an interview that Elvis did a couple years ago in Chicago, talking about his wonderful book. I don't even call it by its right name. Unfaithful Music and Disappearing Music. No. Unfaithful Music and Disappearing Ink by Elvis Costello. That is the book I'm reading, okay? But I'm calling it Cohen's Memoirs. Why? I have my reasons. I do have my reasons. Anyway, so watching him, listening to him like I do most of the time lately, studying him, figuring him out. Oh my goodness, what an incredible person. So fascinating. Such an incredible person. Anyway, holds my interest, that's for sure. So he's talking about his book, which I call his memoirs. They are his memoirs. Anyway, so he is talking about his father, talking about, Liverpool. And then the subject of shipbuilding comes up. That incredible song, beautiful song, unusually haunting song, special song, incredible, from the great protest work that he has done, that he deserves all the credit for, because going up against them, it's no fun. But he's been doing it, and he deserves all the credit in the world for that, because he does have integrity, and he does stand up for what he believes in. And it just so happens to be the things he believes in are very similar to the things Napoleon believed in. Big surprise. So, what is he always talking about? Oliver's army, that the countries are being destroyed, and then there's no jobs. And hi, there's a new war. You want to be in the war? Okay, this is deliberate to kill us. Okay. That's the topic. That's why I'm mad. So, Mr. Magnificent Elvis was reading his book about his mother and World War II. And everybody knows how I feel about World War II. Anyone who's aware of the way I am about World War II, I have many, many, many strong feelings about World War II. And it translates to a lot of the things I do right now. Because I think they're in the middle of being very frustrated that they're not pulling World War III off. That's my opinion. That's been my opinion for years, because I've been watching them stage it and set it up, and I've watched them try to drag me into it. Okay, so a suspicion became a lot more than a suspicion when some banker dynasty agent rolled in from the U.S. government. What's a banker dynasty agent doing in the U.S. government? Wow, that's the enemy within. That's treason. There's way too much treason going on. Okay, way too much. Who's protecting the United States of America? Okay, who? I would love to know, because a lot of these institutions are very infiltrated by that banker dynasty. Why am I so worked up? And I'm so full of Mars today and square Pluto. This is what it looks like. Astrology's real. I'm very, very, very upset. Anyway, so he was talking, Mr. Elvis was talking about how they were going to send his mother to Canada and all the other children and all the things, all the plans they always have for children. And then, big surprise, the ship went down. Okay. I'm sure it's coincidence. And the other coincidence, that before the Falklands War, no jobs. So, no jobs in England. And then, here's another war. Okay. That is organized. That is planned. That is how they're doing genocide these days. Okay. They used to do it with horses, and they used to just kill people. I'm talking about, of course, the genocide of the natives. And now they do it this way, and they use the media. Okay, they foment the wars through the media, and then they engineer situations where people have to join the military. Elvis is always talking about this, and I don't know how obvious he can be about it in the situation he's in, but he is pretty obvious about it if you listen to him. He's very upset about this, and I'm very upset about it also. And I always see that military perspective with him. I'm considering the fact that he's a rocker. He's a rocker, so rockers don't usually concern themselves with military affairs that much. So this one does. Anyway, a little unusual. So anyway, I like that about him, and so there you go. So take the jobs away and then start fomenting wars. Oh, when did that happen? Last couple years, right? They took away all the jobs. What a story. What a story to take away everybody's jobs. This is the evilest thing I've ever seen in my life. This makes World War II look like they were just getting warmed up. The kind of things that they have planned right now. They I was this whole time that they've been trying to get the big one going. Like, wow. They're really bold. Anyway, so they took everybody's job and then they did everything they could to stir it up in the media. And oh, China, Russia, China, Russia, China, Russia, China, Russia. Oh my goodness, when did they ever stop? They have a very big war that they are having a lot of difficulty getting people to go to. Okay, so they really want to knock out a lot of people. That's homicide, that's genocide, that's evil, that's illegal. We need to cut off from them. Okay, I feel very strongly about this. And Elvis also said that he found a bad girl in a movie irresistible. Okay, so what does that mean? So does he like bad girls or good girls? Obviously, he likes both. So anyway, so I did feel I got a word from telepathic word through the ether to look at the Venus aspect on the synastry between me and Elvis. And I looked it up and I put up a chart. And if you want to look at the astrology report, you can see the one Venus aspect that I was to look at today. And I looked at it. It was my Venus. I have a very very interesting Venus because Venus is a ruler of my chart because my ascendant is in Taurus. That's what that means. Your ascendant ruler is a ruler of your chart. Oh, what does that mean? Venus is a ruler of my chart. What does that mean? It's at the top of my chart. So it's very obvious that I'm an artist and a Venus, whatever. And I do care about relationships. That's Venus. So if you look at my Venus, it's in the middle of this stellium of other Venus type things. So Juno, which is long-term relationships, summarize it. Ceres, which is nurturing. Okay, these are nice female things. So they're all around the Venus, and then the North Node. Okay, so I'm headed to Venus land, and she's in Capricorn. That's government. That's government Barbie. So yeah, I need to. Oh, is it back? Is it really back? That's a good question. I need authorization. Is this really back? Okay, this show is more Wayne's World than ever. The runoff. Anyway, so my point is that I'm so red now. This is funny. So I looked up this Venus. I have this a very afflicted Venus. So dramatic, so intense, and that's what I'm looking at. This drama Venus and Capricorn entity. And It's trine Elvis's fame stellium, which is the Sun, Mercury, and Pluto. Okay, so what is this? This is his Sun in Virgo. We can all see the Virgo because he's not always the Rod Stewart in the room. Sometimes he doesn't seem like he wants to be there. So I feel like there's that Sun in Virgo, that kind of shy guy who is not always up to being the center of attention, but he has his Pluto in Leo. So it's that makes up for it. Anyway, the point is that this Venus is in a harmonious aspect with his fame stellium. So we need to see how this is going to play out. And not only that, the other one that I didn't mention is the one I'm always talking about, that Venus is conjunct Mars. So our Venus and our Mars are in Capricorn. I have talked about that here, but it's really pointing to government. Just so strange. Maybe that's why my screen just went out and threw me off. There's something going on here because they're astrologers, and yeah, I just was trying to make that point before about we really need to stop letting them genocide us. Okay, so let's get together and stand up for ourselves and call them out left and right. That when they come up with BS stories to take the jobs, and then, oh, surprise, on television, they've got a couple wars for us that they'd like to get us angry enough into fighting so they won't have to deal with us anymore. We need to really stand up and make our voices heard. Even if it's just on the internet, let people know that the banker dynasty is very serious about eliminating a majority of the population. There's even monuments about it. And I put that up sometimes. It's the Georgia Guidestones, where all their plans are laid out. So this is a real serious religion that has an agenda. And for some reason, it seems like in their religion, they have to let us know what they're planning. And then if we let them do it anyway, it's on us. That's truly what I believe based on everything that I have researched. Because you wonder, why do they tell us what they're doing? And it seems like they have to for their religion, because I've seen it time and time and time and time and time again. And if you ignore that they told you, they're telling you both. They're telling you what you want to hear. And then at the same time, under their breath, they're telling you, oh, yeah, when we're serious, we're going to kill you. They're telling us that they're going to kill us. It's just we don't believe them, even though they're telling, like they say it like it's a joke. Anyway, hopefully we can save ourselves and unite. It's just that Elvis was talking about how they were like rounding up the children and the ship sank. And then um, they created economic circumstances where people couldn't feed themselves, and then they felt they had to join the military, and then they were killed. And Elvis was talking about all the monuments that they put up for all of these young men that die. But think about how that's really to kill the defenders of the country. Okay, so these marauders can continue to do what they're doing. How can we protect ourselves if they come up with BS stories to murder off the 17-year-olds and the 18-year-olds, the 18-year-old boys? Then when we don't have the 18-year-old boys, the banking dynasty can do whatever it wants with us, because it's just, sad, lonely women who don't know how to protect themselves, and children who aren't being taken care of properly because they don't have fathers. And then the economy is broken down. All of this is on purpose. And when I hear Elvis talking about it, I mean, I hear what he's saying. Obviously, he's doing a great job. What I appreciate about him, so, and I do understand his perspective, I believe he wants to change things from the inside. That's a wonderful approach. That is a fantastic approach, and it's very useful if it's done correctly. And I love that he's being so innovative. He's fighting for his life. So am I. We're all fighting for our lives. He's fighting to keep his his business going. He's a businessman, and things are not very certain, and he has a lot of people who want things from him. So, I hope we'll all really support him a lot, because for all the difficulty I have given him, he has been doing what he can to reach people in a way that somebody like me never could, because I'm not allowed in those places. And that's wrong, that there's a two-tiered society, and that there's a whole class of people who are involved in culture that I can't be involved in the culture because I'm not one of them. That's wrong. That's very, very, very wrong. That we've been engineered into different strata. That's very wrong. And this has all been done by organized planning. They're messing with us. They're putting things in our food. They're doing all kinds of things to like breed us, like the way the ads are. They want us to look a certain way, so they're trying to make us breed in the way they want, because they really seem to want this one Ubermensch. It's Nazi stuff. There's the Ubermensch. I'm saying that wrong. I probably Ubermenschen. I'm not sure how to say it, but the Ubermensch. I know it's Mensch, but the overlords. They're the overlords. There's the overlords, and then they want everybody else to be brown for some reason. It's very strange. They want these this almost I guess inferior people. They want the majority to be inferior. They obviously want to get rid of the majority, and then just have their special white tall people that are blonde with blue eyes, just right out of the Nazis. And they've been throwing sand in our eyes. They're the Nazis. Basically, the Satanists are the Nazis. So, and they're the most racist imaginable. And they're always calling us racist. They're the racist ones. Everything they call us is what they are, which is, again, you wonder, how do they live with themselves? Because they're always accusing their enemy of what they are, like it's the worst thing in the world. Can you imagine? How do they live with themselves? I know they're rich. Ooh, they're rich. But they're spending their whole life trying to frame people with what they're doing. They must feel like such garbage they've been trying to frame me as a terrorist or a racist and all the things that they are. Everything, actress, anything they could come up with. And it's like, that's what you guys are doing. Why are you putting that on me? How do you guys live with yourselves when the worst thing is you guys? And you're in charge, but you have to function by just playing all these sick tricks all the time and chasing people like me around and tricking me. I don't get how it works, how the superior people are how do they feel superior? I don't understand, because they really think they're superior. They think we're so stupid and we fall for all their tricks, but it's like the tricks are so self-effacing to them. I don't understand how they maintain the illusion of their superiority. These are my questions. Anyway, so maybe one day I'll find out. Anyway, the point is, I found some really harmonious aspects with Elvis. I have everything blocked and difficult also, probably more. And I just hope one day the heaven will bless me enough to actually talk to this person who I'm sure is my twin flame. He's fascinating. He's amazing. I would love to talk to him. And all I can do is ask people to help us get free, because obviously their stories are BS. Obviously they're out to kill us. What can we do? I know we're all we're trapped in this system, but we can look within, and we have guidance, we have answers, we have that small still voice. We really do. And everyone doesn't have to become heroic, but we could become a world of heroes. It's possible. What is heroism? Heroism is listen to that voice, do what you know is right, and help people, and be self-aware, and try to improve and give. It's a good thing. I'm not completely happy, but I am much better off than I was when I started this. I will say that. In 2014, I felt trapped. I still feel trapped, but my health is terrible, and I was less accomplished than I am now. And I've had a lot of really good experiences doing this. And I have somehow survived. I did not expect to survive. Oh, it's Friday again. Yeah, I survived to another. Friday is when I celebrate surviving. So, yeah, I'm still here. Even if I weren't here, so what? It's I don't like that they make death such a thing. Look, you die, you come back. I guess I come back. I don't even think I want to, but I keep getting sent back here. I'm not. Van Morrison and I really relate. He has a lot of songs. I'm a stranger in this world. So am I. I'm a stranger in this world too. I don't feel good here. I really don't. So hopefully this world could become a little less infernal to me. That's something I'm hoping for. I do actually find it infernal. I try to make the best of it. But this world could be heaven. It could be fun. I want things to be fun. Why aren't things fun? Let How about fun? Let's have fun. Let's do fun things. Let's not just fight a banking dynasty all the time. We can move past this. I just feel like if we all, and I mean each and every one of us who has it in our heart, just put that spotlight on that banking dynasty. I hope everybody knows who I'm talking about. How many banking dynasties are there? Not that many. So put the spotlight on that banking dynasty from England. Put the spotlight on them. Put the spotlight on them. The wars are rolling out from them. The genocide is rolling out from them. The lies. Okay, how do I know? Because I know them now. I can see their style. And they are stylish and they are they're very posh, they're very rich. And I can see all the people that look up to them and emulate them because they're part of the same club. So it's very easy to see what do all these things have in common. That banking dynasty is it's the richest thing going. So it's really hard to miss. If they are trying to hide, or what I guess they're trying to hide, they pretend they don't exist or something. The whole media pretends they don't exist, just like they pretend that I don't exist. So I also find that very interesting. And I want to say that this banking dynasty owns the world media, and then the world media doesn't talk about them. Okay, so think about how much that costs them to pay the entire world's media to not talk about them. Okay, because they own it, and they don't even get mentioned practically, except if they write a check or something. Then they get a little coverage, just a little bit. Okay, and then the whole media is being paid by them to not talk about me too. Okay, so they gave me something. They gave me something that costs them probably, I don't know, 5 trillion every year, whatever it costs them. You know what I'm saying? They gave that to me as a gift. How much do they spend? But I'm not a criminal. What good is it to me? I'm just trying to show you how things work. Okay? So now that I'm officially forever invisible by the media, and I have, oh my goodness, lawsuits. I can't wait to do something with all these lawsuits I have. Wow. I have the biggest lawsuit, easy to prove, already proven multiple times. That's all I do is prove my lawsuit against this banking dynasty. I prove it and prove it and prove it. Why? Because I have a huge lawsuit against the richest man in the world, the whole world. I have a huge lawsuit against him. Everything he's doing against me is illegal. Oh, but he shut down the legal system. He doesn't get to. Oh, but he took over my country. He doesn't get to. That's right. He doesn't get to. He doesn't get to own all the financial systems and all the medias. No, that's illegal. That's criminal behavior. We caught him red-handed. Okay, I have a lot of lawsuits against him. And there is no amount of money for what he's put me through. And the world. This is not about me. This is about everybody. Okay? I have a big lawsuit against this banker. And guess what? So does everybody else. We all have a massive lawsuit. And what I'm doing is I'm saying, yeah, I acknowledge that he shut down the law system all over the place. I acknowledge that. But guess what? He didn't shut down justice. He can't shut down justice. It's not possible. Everybody knows that when some super rich banker shuts down law enforcement and the effectiveness of government, what happens? People have to start fighting for themselves. That's exactly what I'm trying to set an example about. We all need to become warriors to stand up for ourselves day and night, because the government is full of infiltrators who are actually our worst enemies. So now we have to protect ourselves from the government. We have to protect ourselves from, anything that banking dynasty owns. That's the final word. Or they win and get their beautiful country club without us on it. That's the stakes. That's how it is. These are the methods that they are using to eliminate the population. They were trying to get a civil war going in the United States. They were trying to get me to lead the populist side. Okay? That's what happened to me. This is not a theory. This is what happened to me. Okay? And had I taken, so think about it, the banking dynasty, my whole life I tried to have a career in culture. And I couldn't, and I couldn't, and I couldn't. Why? Because I guess I'm not one of them, or too honest, or whatever it is. I did get media jobs. Fine. Finally, I got my offer from them, and it was go be a shill for Trump. I guess Elvis got a good offer. I didn't get a good offer. I don't know what offer they get. I know what offer I got. I couldn't even take it if I wanted to. I certainly didn't have the interest in it, but Trump was already seen as BS by 2018. How could I support him? I can't support somebody that I know is a liar. Who, well, there's other things going on, but it's a different situation, because how can you be in media and be honest right now? So I will say that I will differentiate one thing from another thing, because Trump is a whole fake character, and the media environment is a nightmare right now. I don't know how anybody could be anywhere near media right now and honest. So hopefully I do dream of a day when we can see more honesty from people, but that's just how it is. And it's difficult. We are in a war over lies. Anyway, I'll drop it. So let's hear a letter from Napoleon to Josephine. See what's going on. I read the letters where Napoleon was chastising Josephine for not writing. I don't know why she didn't write. I haven't heard like the other story on this. What was going on with Josephine? She was lazy, probably is what was going on. I don't know. But she, at this point, was obsessed with keeping him. So I strongly doubt she spent 2 weeks not writing to him. So now I have to wonder if somebody got involved, because there are a lot of infiltrators and plants around Napoleon and Josephine at Hortense, and they're trying to create problems. So I could very easily see that she wrote those letters and then they took them, and then Napoleon thought she wasn't writing, and they knew he hates when she doesn't write. I'll bet you anything that's what happened, because she didn't mess around with Napoleon at this time. She was super lazy about writing letters. See, now I want to know. I want to know every little detail about this. So since Josephine got the letter, I can see from Napoleon's letter, she'd been crying and she's afraid he's really going to divorce her this time. And now he's being so much nicer. Now he's found out she's been crying because the letters he wrote, which weren't that bad, but it's because she knows he's going to divorce her. And she's been staving it off for years. And even Hortense, it says in her memoirs, she really should have just gotten out of that marriage, because it was killing her. And she did love him. She did. At this point, she was crazy about him. Anyway, so here you go. A little context. I have received several letters from you. I'm writing you only a word. My affairs go well. Tomorrow I shall be at Potsdam, and on the 25th at Berlin. I'm wonderfully well. Fatigue agrees with me. I am gratified to know that you are with Hortense and Stephanie in fine company. The weather has been beautiful up to the present. 1,000 friendly greetings to Stephanie and everyone, not forgetting Monsieur Napoleon. Adieu, my love, all thine, Napoleon. Okay, so there he is. Trying to stop her from crying. Oh, themes, the themes. All right, so now we're in this wonderful book, which is wonderful and beautifully written. And I love reading it because the words are so beautiful. And I wish I knew how to write like this. What a great, beautiful writer. Such a beautiful writer. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I just love how he writes. Love it. Anyway, let's hear his beautiful words. A little while later, I met a doctor's daughter from one of the tinier towns on the world. Her dad didn't want me in the house because I was the wrong religion, but her mother spent a lot of time trying to convince herself that I might be acceptable. She wouldn't have thought so fondly of me if she'd known what we were up to in the greenhouse in the garden, even if we lacked the courage of our convictions and were more likely to be overcome by green fly than by passion. So the doctor's daughter and I talked on the phone for hours about what I could not tell you now, but probably the usual absurdity and offense that teenagers find in regard to the adult world. We didn't have any money to speak of, so we'd ride the ferry over to Liverpool, but having nowhere to go, we'd wait until everyone had got off, and then we'd ride the ferry back across the Mersey to Birkenhead. There was a lot of time spent sitting on buses, laughing into our hands at something we imagined in the faces of strangers. I never wrote anything as crass as a love song for Joanna. She eventually left me for a soldier living on a kibbutz. Before that postcard arrived, I'd already started to do things to horrify her friends who were given a melodrama and crying while listening to Mawkish Cat Stephen records. One of them, who occasionally took her mother's tranquilizers, had a copy of Blonde on Blonde, which she seemed to like to be seen holding. I'm not sure she'd actually ever listened to the record. Thinking about it now, I probably harbored a secret desire for this spoiled little creature. As I went out and bought myself a second-hand copy of the album, too. Up until then, all I knew of Bob Dylan was a stack of singles and some sheet music. I'd worked out the changes to Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. But the first Dylan songs I actually learned to play and perform in public were Tears of Rage and You Ain't Going Nowhere. The rest of the songs were just absorbed by osmosis or from being alive. You can learn a lot of songs that way. It was also at this time that I threw in my allegiance with the Grateful Dead, as saying that you liked the Dead was a conversation stopper with people who preferred Yes or Barclay James Harvest. Pop shows on television were full of men with permed hair or feather cut specimens poured into lame and glitter outfits with eyeliner and mascara smudged on their beery faces. I didn't think that I could pull off the glam look at all, even after I discovered that Brian Connolly of Sweet was originally a Scottish McManus, so might have been my very, very, very distant cousin. However much we all pretended that music was about a small handful of albums and the long, dark hours spent pondering them, there was still a guilty pleasure of tuning into Top of the Pops on a Thursday night. I never went for any of Tyrannosaurus Rex's songs with bongos about wizards and unicorns, but when they shortened their name to T-Rex and released Jeepster, well, that was something I could understand. Oh my goodness. Mark Bolan. I love him. Okay. R.I.P. Maybe Mark Bolan. Oh my goodness, maybe he'll come in. Mark Bolan, please welcome. Okay, I would love to talk to Mark Bolan. Anyway, good evening. Thank you for listening.